Hey there, missing my ugly face? Of course you don't. Don't care, I'm gonna stay anyways. But yeah, we gotta talk about some stuff.
All right, Donald Trump has been sending out some batshit crazy tweets about the election integrity of the United States. And this is getting worse than we could have possibly imagined because not only are they trying to rewrite the story of 2020 in front of our eyes, we've been fighting against that with the actual facts of what happened. We've been fighting relentlessly against that. But now they are trying to muddy the waters of future elections and they're laying the groundwork to control the outcomes. I'm not somebody who rings this alarm over and over or rings this alarm without reason. They are actively trying to steal both the 2026 midterms, the 2028 election, and then have control beyond that.
So the unfortunate dilemma in this occasion, when it comes to this, is it's not easy to express what's going on, but obviously a lot of people are gonna be like, a lot of people turn a blind eye to the behavior that's being established. Ever since Trump has gotten to office, he has been complaining about election and election integrity, and there's a reason for this. He wants to condition people to think that everything election related is fraud or illegal or rigged somehow. This is so that when he decides to, quote, fix the system, I'm putting in quotes, fix the system, that it won't seem like a total overhaul of what's happening. In other words, right now we have very fair elections and very fair ways of ensuring elections. But he doesn't want that. He wants to ensure that if he wants to win, he can. If he wants to ensure that if he wants his party to win, that he can. But he doesn't want to say that. So what he instead is doing is attacking the integrity of elections altogether and saying, hey, these are not reputable by any means. They're rigged somehow. This opens people up to the idea that the whole system's rigged, and so they're like, yeah, we need an overhaul, which is what Trump wants. He wants the idea of an overhaul being normal, an overhaul being something that can be standard, an overhaul being something that we need. So he's going to continue perpetuating that this is a system that's rigged and that he's the only one who can fix it. So he's going to pitch, hey, the system's rigged, the system's broken, there's no way you're going to fix it. Let me change the system, and I promise it will never be rigged or there will never be any election fraud ever again. And again, continuing to perpetuate this idea is conditioning people for the idea of there being an election overhaul. Anything election related, all being overhauled as a whole. So whatever drastic move he decides to take, whether it mean just kicking out all elected officials or changing how elections work altogether, he wants to be conditioned for that change. So when it happens, it's not drastic. It's the same thing that happened in Germany. Again, the only way that the Germans were allowed to do the level of corruption they were was they first conditioned people to getting used to, in this case, the Gestapo walking around and being part of was supposed to be a rehabilitation program. Keyword, rehabilitation program. It was not a rehabilitation program. It ended up being something far more severe and far more evil in essence, but they put it under the guise of it's a rehabilitation program, and when you send your children or these people, certain group of people to this camp, that this camp is going to rehabilitate them and make them a citizen for society, and that they're going to be someone who's going to be more equipped for life by coming here. But no, and by all means, it was something else entirely. Point is, in order to get people to accept an idea, there has to be enough conditioning and a long enough period of conditioning to get people used to the idea. So by the time it is implemented, people aren't shocked by it.
We need to be putting our foot in the ground, planting the flag in the sand, whatever you want to say, right now. Let's